Welcome to another episode of the Iced Tea Podcast. Today, I'm interviewing PA announcer for the Carolina Hurricanes, Wade Minter. We're going to talk about how he landed this job, the mess up that caused him to make national news, and the same pregame meal that he's been eating for almost a decade. Iced Tea is a production of Mix 101.5 and presented by Lane and Associates Family Dentistry, where every patient is treated like family. Wade Minter, welcome to the Iced Tea Podcast.
I'm so excited to be here, Megan.
And that voice. Okay, so for anyone listening right now that is like, wait, I know this voice, the voice that you hear inside the arena at Lenovo Center when the announcements are made, when a goal is called, it is this man, the myth, the legend right here. Oh, wonderful. Amazing. So how many years now have you been doing PA announcing for the Carolina Hurricanes?
For the Canes, this is my 11th season.
11th season.
Yeah.
That is wild.
A long time.
It goes by so fast, though.
It really does. It seems like just yesterday I was like trying to figure out what I was doing, and now more than a decade's gone, and you know, I've never missed a game.
And wait, yes, rewind. Never missed a game. I know that you have this crazy Iron Man streak, but 11 seasons and every single Carolina Hurricanes home game, you have been there.
I have. Yeah.
I'm
on like
how?
494 consecutive games. And people are like, oh, have you ever been, sick? Have you ever, missed a game? Like, well, there are plenty of games I shouldn't have shown up to, but, you get the performers high, as you know, and
yep.
You can kind of power through it. And I've always thought that my strategy here, see, if I miss a game, they're going to find somebody better. But if I never miss a game, they won't have the chance.
You are speaking my language. I'm like, girl, you do not get sick because they're going to find another blondie to replace you.
They don't even look at my face. I'm just a voice.
Oh, my gosh. No, I have the same things. But also, too, when you're like, when you wake up sick or you're just like, oh, gosh, I'm really just not feeling it today, it's kind of like one of those things where they would figure it out, but you going through your mind like, what would they do?
Yeah.
Actually, like, what would they do, though, for real?
That's a good question. So people have asked me, do you have a backup? And I'm like, I don't know. Probably my third season in the job, they were like, we should probably get you a backup. Like, you've been very reliable these first couple seasons, but, things happen, and they do. So they found somebody who did some PA work at Duke. Brought him in, had him shadow me for a game, like kind of figure, come production meeting, sit with me, see how I do the stuff I do. And I have never heard from him again.
Your job scared him away.
Or they just stopped calling him. I don't know. But I have been told that in the event that I was like unable to make a game on late notice, you're in a car wreck or meteor fell on you or whatever it happens to be, they have identified somebody who would be in the building on game day that would do it. I've never gotten a name.
So it's a mystery to you.
It is a mystery to me, yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if I have a mystery backup person.
I wonder.
I feel like my mystery backup person is you. I feel like you would just do my job from the voice of God. Okay, but I need to know, walk me through a game day. Like, it kind of, you don't have to walk me through your entire day, but up until everything that's related to the game. Yeah. How do you prep for it?
Yeah, so this is not my real job, obviously. I have a real job in technology, but on a game day, the team will send out the media notes and the rosters for that night's game. So that's everybody on the Canes who's on the roster, everybody on the visiting team who's on the roster in a nice little format. And I make my own rosters. They're the way that I like them to be. They've got kind of the information I want, the way I want it laid out. And for anyone I don't know how to say their name, I will go onto YouTube or wherever I can and try to find how to say their name. Because job number one, get the names right. Everything else is the marshmallow fluff on top. But if you get the names wrong, you have failed at your primary job. and I don't like to fail.
And
So.
but hockey, it's not like you're saying
Not a lot of John Smiths in the league. No.
There are a lot of Russian names, a lot of Finnish names, and I owe so much to you because when I first got the job, knew nothing about hockey, never mind how to pronounce these players' names, and you have just really walked me through that. And so, we'll get to this part of your game, I'm sure, but anyone I don't know, I have to verify. You teach me how to say it. And then also you've been very proud of me.
I've been so proud of you.
You have taught me so great. And now that we've seen these names over and over and over again, I'll say to you, I guess what's a goalie that just would trip me up in the beginning? But I can't think of one off the top of my head. But you would just be, I'd say it and you're like, yes, Megan, I taught you so well. Okay, so you go through your roster, you learn how to say the other team's names.
Yep. Our team's names if we call anybody up, because one of the misconceptions I think people have about the job is, number one, that it's my full-time job. It is not. And number two, I get to go hang out with the players. I get to talk to them. I get to go be like, how do you say your name, random Pittsburgh Penguins player? No, we have absolutely no contact with the players. Zero contact whatsoever. So I'm kind of on my own trying to figure it out. And a bunch of the PA guys in the league have put together a website where we record ourselves saying our own players' names.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Ryan Mill in Pittsburgh put that together, which is a big help to everybody. We've solved problems over here. That's what we do.
See, this is what the Iced Tea podcast is all about. It's getting these behind the scenes things. And I was worried about you, Wade, because you and I were friends. So I was like, what do I not know about Wade's life?
That's true.
But I had no idea about this secret PA.
Secret website.
Oh my gosh, you guys are in a little group together.
Yeah,
Is there a group chat?
There's a little bit of one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're all friends. But I'll write down the names. I'll write down the phonetic pronunciations in a way that I can understand them because I don't know the International Phonetic Alphabet. So I figure it out my own way. I'll take the stats for the teams. And so down the roster where I've got, every player listed in numerical order, I'll write down the number of goals they have on the season coming into the game, which means if this player scores a goal, I can look and say, okay, he's got 20 goals. This was his 21st, so I can write down 21, and I'll scratch that out, put a 21 there beside it during the game. So I get all that stuff prepped.
Do you handwrite these?
Or no, my handwriting is awful.
Okay.
No, I type all of this.
So you type this up. Okay.
I will handwrite in the numbers because I can make a number that I can read, but I cannot make letters that I can read.
That's so funny.
My mom was an English teacher before she retired, and I'm sure my handwriting embarrasses her. And then they'll send out copies of the game script in advance, so a draft version and a final version. Normally, there's not much for me in the draft version because a lot of the very specific things that I talk about are still kind of being finalized. But I'll look at the final script. I'll be like, okay, we're playing these games in the intermissions. We've got these types of reads. We've got this thing that's unusual. And really just if I'm unclear about anything, I'll email and say, this seems weird or wrong or inconsistent. So I'll come in prepped having read the script a couple times just to make sure I catch things, right? So on an average 7 o'clock game start, doors will open at 6. We have our production meeting at 5. So I'll leave my house about 4 from Wake Forest. I'll come in, grab a coffee on the way, as you know, and generally roll in the building about 4:45. Go drop my stuff off. Go hang out with you a little bit while we chat with Johnny G and Chappie and Linda and all the folks up there.
Yep. The control room is where we are having these conversations. Yes.
Go over the script. Sometimes there will be something that has changed. Christine will tell us. I'll make little notes in my script.
And Christine is our
that's right.
In game.
I'm just throwing out names.
That's okay. That's like I said. You and I, all these people, but we're in the control room, and Christine is our. I guess what is her title? She's like producer of in game.
Yeah, I don't know what her title is, but she produces the show. She is the traffic cop.
She is in our ear because Wade and I also have earpieces. Or do you have a whole headset?
Yeah, I have like a 70s DJ
Love that.
headset on me.
Love that. But yeah, so we hear Christine in our ear most of the game. But wait, let's rewind back to the coffee. I know I've asked you this before because without question, you always come with mainly Starbucks coffee. What is your order?
It is a grande blonde whole milk latte. Very
Even-
basic. Very
Even
simple.
when it's hot outside.
Even when it's hot outside. Yeah, I've never had an iced coffee. Not once in my life.
In your life?
In my life, no. No. Coffee's supposed to be hot.
What?
Yeah.
We need to make this happen. I love a basic, iced coffee,
Yeah.
okay?
In my brain, coffee is supposed to be hot. And I am very much a creature of routine and habit, which will come up in the kind of what I do after the meeting part. But yeah, so I'll get my coffee, always the same order. I think I've switched it up one time.
Does it also help with your throat?
No, it's
having
awful
hot-
for my throat.
It-
My youngest daughter, Kate, is a trained musician. She is a trained singer, and she is horrified about how I take care of my voice. She's like, you are doing the worst possible things for anyone who has to talk. You're drinking hot milk before you have to go talk for 2 hours. Well, it works for me, you know?
You know what? You crush it every time. You crush it. Yes. So you have that. We're in the control room.
Yes.
We also, the other superstition thing that we do is we do our pregame hug.
That's
Like,
right.
I don't know when it started, a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, it's
but
been a minute.
Bad things happen when we forget
Oh,
that
yeah.
pregame
No,
hug.
no,
So
it's
we do
bad.
a good luck, buddy,
Yeah.
and then we
Go have
head on
fun.
our way. So what's after that?
After that is dinner time. So the media dinner, I get to have that. And there's a nice little buffet up at Press Row. It was previously down at arena level. And they switch everything up kind of game to game, except the barbecue. There's barbecue every single game. And I have had the exact same dinner for a decade. It's always barbecue, coleslaw, vinegar sauce, because that is the one true sauce, and sweet tea. Every game. Literally every game. Every single game. No variation for a decade. I switched up a little bit my first year, and then I was like, I just like the barbecue. And so I've eaten it for 400 and some straight games.
Okay, so I also am privy to this meal prior to the game. I've tried it. I can't eat before a game.
That's fair.
It's not that I'm nervous. I can't. And I'm standing,
Yeah.
I just can't do it. But I did have the barbecue a couple of times because I'm gluten-free. So that was really the only consistent thing that I could eat. And I think I did it for 2 games. And don't get me wrong, it is great barbecue. But I quickly was like, I can't do this every
No,
game.
normal people, that is a normal person's answer. Like, I'm going to have something different at some point this year. Like, that is what normal people do.
So I have to ask, is this superstition or you're just like, I really freaking like this barbecue?
It's a little of both. It's very good barbecue. And again, it's part of how I get into the mindset of being ready to perform in this role is I've got my routine. I wear my little gimmick jersey here, right? I have my barbecue. I have my coffee. I, go walk around the concourse for a little bit before it's time to start reading things before warm-ups. Like there's that routine. I always walk clockwise around the concourse.
Wait, really?
I might have a problem. But I've done all right. But
It's okay, Wade.
no,
it's
good.
okay.
It's therapy here today.
Oh, you're cracking me up.
But that routine helps me get into the character of the announcer. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
the announcer is a character. It's me, but different, right? And so when I got the jersey on and when I'm in front of the mic and I'm doing my things, that tells my brain like it is, now you're in this mode, right?
I think it's also important to mention to the people that you always wear the same sweater as the team is wearing.
I do, yeah.
So I always know what the team is wearing based on when Wade walks into the control room. Oh, red sweater tonight.
That's
oh,
right.
Black sweater tonight. That's awesome. Amazing.
Again, I might have a problem. But yeah, that's all part of the routine to get ready to start doing the show. So that's my game day routine from the time I kind of get up on a game day, get the rosters, print them out, write my stuff down, get my coffee, get in, do the meeting, have dinner, walk around the concourse for a little bit, and then it's showtime.
It's fascinating. Like, I've never been more fascinated by someone's pregame routine in my life. No, genuinely. I know that I tend to ask people this question, and it might be TMI, but also it's so concerning to me because I think about it so much. Legitimately, of all the announcers, me, even Marcus, our DJ, and Trip and Mike, we all have times that we could use the restroom if we needed to.
Yes.
You don't, because you are not only calling goals and things during the game, but you're also partaking in the intermission Voice of God games as well.
Yes.
So with your sweet
and I'm
tea
old.
drinking,
I'm 50.
no, you're not old. With your sweet tea drinking, coffee, like, how do you, are you just that much of like an Iron Man?
No, not in the slightest. And I'll let you in a little secret.
Yeah, let me in.
Why you're one of my favorite people. I hit the restroom during your show. That's the one time I'm not talking. So I'll like do the intermission games most of the time. And then I'll do our birthdays and celebrations and Olympia riders, and it's time for your show. And that's when I peace out. I'll go grab a little snack. I'll hit the restroom. I'll come back. Your show's done. We've got the video, the
I've never been more honored in my life that
you're my lifesaver.
Provide you that grace period.
And I do take advantage of it because the way I'm wired is that if I am very excited, heart rate's up or whatever, it all goes to my kidneys.
Yes. Okay. This is great to know. I just lost. I was going to say something, but okay, this is great. I'm so glad that this happens for you.
Yes,
because
thank you. I appreciate that.
What I do want to tell you though is I've gotten better. Like because if you don't watch my shows, I'm not bad like I was in the beginning. Like after 5 seasons, I'm pretty good now.
Yeah, I almost never see your shows. Yeah.
I just want to tell you that because I have improved immensely thanks to you for the pronunciations. Iced Tea is presented by Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. When you walk into a Lane office, it is warm, it is welcoming, it is stress-free, and it's an environment for the whole family. So visit lanedds.com to find a location near you.
It's a weird job.
Yeah, it is a weird job.
Like your job is very weird. My job's very weird. Like it's the kind of thing where even the production team's job is kind of weird. Like it is a very unique skill set that you have to be part of this show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I think, hard for anybody coming into any sort of role, especially public facing, to like get it on the first go, right? Like you gotta make your mistakes. You gotta learn. You got to get feedback. You got to figure out who you are, who you're going to be. And I think that's a universal thing for everybody.
Definitely. No, absolutely. And it's just, and also, you said the word show, and it's so true because, granted, you're going to a hockey game, everything that is happening from the lights to what you're seeing on the Jumbotron to the Canes crew to Stormy, it's all production. It's all a show. It's all entertainment, and something's happening behind the scenes to make all this go, which we're going to get more into as well. But I have to know too, talking about this being unique and weird, how did you get this job? Like how did that happen? 11 years.
A series of very improbable coincidences. So I'll tell you a little bit about my background.
Okay.
That I think helps set the stage briefly. So I have a degree in computer science from William & Mary and have been working in the technology industry since the late 90s. So that's that is like my job, right? I moved to Raleigh in 1999, sight unseen, had never been to the city before. A relationship I had with a girl up in Delaware had ended. I had no reason to be in Delaware. I was like, Raleigh's nice. So I've heard. So I moved down here, got involved in improv comedy. And I was in a group called Comedy Sports, which then changed their name to Comedy Works. But it's a sports-themed improv show. It's kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Except there's like a red team, a blue team, a referee, and an announcer. And it's the format is sports, but it's not comedy about sports, right? And I did that announcer role a lot.
Okay.
As that improv was kind of my side thing. So I built a comedy PA announcer character in that show through improv.
That is wild. Never knowing that it was going to be your future.
No, this not in the slightest. I started playing hockey as an adult around like 2006. My wife was like, you know how to skate, like, let's get you some gear and you can learn to play. So I started playing hockey and did that for quite a while. I started doing professional wrestling ring announcing through a connection in my improv group with a group here in Raleigh called Gouge Wrestling that is kind of like very minor league WWE, but I was the ring announcer.
Is it very, is it serious or is it very
A little of both.
theatrical, like WWE is?
Yeah, it's a little of both.
Okay.
It's super fun. I was a wrestling fan growing up in Southern Virginia as a kid. And so that was like, oh my God, I get to step between the ropes and, do that now, now making his way to the ring, weighing in at 275 pounds, like that sort of stuff.
That is awesome.
So I learned to work a crowd in the wrestling ring, right? In 2014, I answered a call on Twitter. NC State men's club hockey posted hey, we could really use a PA announcer and DJ. And so I wrote back to him and I was like, hey, I've done improv, I play hockey, I've done this wrestling thing, love to try out. And they said, come on out. And so I did a few games and they're like, great, you should do this. Like, you're our PA announcer. So I had a year of working college hockey under my belt, interacting with the officials and being at ice level and just kind of seeing how everything goes together. So that brings us up to 2015. I'm a season ticket member and had been for quite a while. And I go to a preseason game and I hear a different PA announcer voice. It's not Brian Hoyle, who had been doing it for the previous 10 years. So I came home and I was like, I wonder if they're like trying people out. Psychotic behavior. But I had met John Chase and Doug Worf years prior when my improv group had done some like kiss cam bits and penalty box bits with them.
Oh,
like some video content.
Yes.
So I found their email addresses, I'm like, hey guys, you guys trying out like new announcers or whatever? Like, I've been doing college hockey and, I do improv. Like, I'm like, what's up? And so Doug writes me back the next day. He's like, yeah, we announced our tryouts for our announcer job a month ago. Not sure how you missed that. But you know what? If you come down here today, we'll give you the same tryout we gave everyone else a month ago.
And this was from Doug Worf, which is so funny.
Yes, he was VP of marketing at the time.
Okay, yep.
And fun sidebar to that, I had just gotten fired about 3 weeks before this. From my real job.
Oh my, okay.
For my tech job.
Yep.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm unemployed. I can probably get down to the arena this afternoon for this.
That is wild.
So I show up and, they hand me a script and they hand me a headset, and Chris Greenlee, the former head of production, who's now VP of big things.
What is his title now? I think it's like VP
everything.
of strategy of all the things.
So I go down and they have me do like fake announcements, like do a Canes goal.
So there was not a game going on at this point. You
empty
were
arena.
Like empty arena. Okay.
Just announcing into the building. Do the Canes starting lineup. Read the Bojangles read the blah, 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 blah. It felt like about half an hour, probably about 10 minutes. And then it's like, okay, cool, we're done. You can bring your stuff back up. We'll be in touch. Sure you will.
Yep.
Get a call. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? I was like, well, my daughter and I were going to go to the Canes Penguins preseason game. And he's like, would you like to announce that? We liked what we heard in this audition. We'd love to see what you sound like in a real game. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
Oh my gosh.
Funny
that it was Canes Penguins.
Yes.
I know. I don't know when this will air, but we just played them last night.
That was our most recent game.
Yeah.
In real life. So I'm like, yes, I can absolutely do this. All right, cool. Show up at this time. I tell my wife and my daughters and nobody else. I'm like, you have to be here. You may never see this again. Like, it's crazy that I'm even at this point. So I called my season ticket group and it's like, hey, can I get an extra ticket for the preseason game? They're like, yeah, it's preseason. We've got extra tickets. So show up for that game, run through a little bit more practice before the doors open. And then there I am at ice level announcing Canes Penguins. Just there, right? And honestly, I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay. Because I would be terrified.
And I wasn't. And part of that is because I've done improv for so long, it's almost impossible to throw me, right?
That's amazing.
I've been in weirder situations and gotten out of them. I play hockey, so I know the sport. I've been a season ticket member for the vast majority of the time the team's been in Raleigh. So I know the team,
Fair.
I know the culture, I know the fans. I know how to work a crowd because I've done pro wrestling. I know how the game works at interacting with the officials level because I've done a year of college hockey. Like, it all came together. And then I was doing the game and I felt really good. And so after the game, I go bring my stuff up. My wife and kids get up in the season ticket group in section 328 that I've been sitting in forever. And they're like, y'all know who that was announcing this game, right? Because clearly they didn't miss me. I wasn't there. They were like, where's Wade? And as you know, my just normal speaking voice isn't super close to my announcing voice. Like,
yes,
me just talking like this is not 1 minute remaining in the period. Like, it's a different voice. It's a different character. So if you didn't know it was me, you probably wouldn't know it was me. If you weren't like, I'm listening to, I think that's going to be Wade. Then my phone starts blowing up. Like, well, was that you? Was that you? So I bring my stuff back up, and they're like, cool, we're going to talk about it over the weekend. We have to talk to hockey ops. Like, there's people involved. And Monday afternoon, I get a call. It's like, hey, it's Chris Greenlee with the Hurricanes. You want to be our announcer?
Oh,
my
gosh.
Yeah. You're our guy. Crazy coincidences.
That is so awesome. I love every bit of that story.
And after I got the job, after I stopped freaking out, which I was freaking out, and my family comes running up thinking I'm like in serious distress, but no, I'm just very excited. I did have to put my dad hat on at that point in time.
Okay.
And I asked my daughters, I'm like, you know why I got this job? And they're like, because you're awesome. I'm like, no, that actually had almost nothing to do with it. I got it because I asked. If I hadn't sent that email at midnight that night to people I hadn't talked to in years, none of the rest of that would have happened.
Oh, that is such a full circle, just chills up my spine moment, because you're so right. Like, these, you might have to many people, a wild dream, and it could be a reality.
Yeah.
If you just take that step forward and ask.
What's the worst they would say to me? No.
Exactly.
And I'm no worse off than I am right now.
Exactly. And with me, I had a similar audition experience, went in empty arena, and then I knew that they were still auditioning other people. So I knew, like, okay, they're a little hesitant about my lack of hockey knowledge, which understandable. But I knew that I was going to have to make my own pre-show scripts. And so I created one myself. I got myself in front of a camera. I recorded myself doing it, and I sent it over to Chris Greenlee, a very common name in this podcast.
Yes.
And yeah, you just have to push that door open sometimes yourself. And that was, I think, the thing that was like, okay, this girl is clearly really wants this, and she's proven that she's going to work hard.
Right.
And so we'll give it to her. So yeah, both you and I are here because we took a leap of faith and worked hard. And, so advice for anyone looking to do what we do. Although we're not going to miss a game. So
no, never.
Okay, so you did mention in that story that you were at arena level, but right now, where do you sit? Like, when people are listening to you, give us a visual of where you are.
Yeah, so if you look at the section 326 sign up at the third row, and then look above that, you'll see my bald head kind of poking out. So I'm at press row, media level, where like reporters and Kane staff sit. I sat in the penalty boxes at ice level up until COVID. And then after COVID, the NHL kicked all of us PA announcers who were still PAing from the box, which was probably about a third of us at that time, kicked us out. Not allowed to go in the box anymore.
Such a bummer, though.
It is, because you
see all the things.
And you hear all the things.
Yeah.
It was a very, very awesome 3 years to be down there. I miss it. It's harder to do my job from where I am because I can't talk to the off-ice officials. I can't talk to the on-ice officials. Like, my job is to relay information. What is that penalty? Well, there's a big schmoz. They send 3 guys to this box, 2 guys to this box, skate off. I don't know what's going on.
So what is that process now? Because I do know sometimes when there is a goal, it does take a little bit of time from goal to when you announce. And it's not because you don't know what's going on. You very much know what's going on. But is there like an official call that needs to come in? Walk me through that.
Yeah, so people, for whatever reason this year, have been getting on my case. Like, it takes you so long to announce things. I'm like, I am normally talking about 5 seconds after the puck drops. I don't know what your expectations are.
It's not that long.
But sometimes it'll be 30 seconds. Sometimes it'll be a minute. And the reason is that we, kind of on our side of the world, in production world, and me as the announcer, have to wait for the league, the NHL off-ice officials who work the games, to confirm, because lot of things are riding on getting that right. A player could miss a bonus if they didn't get an assist that they were entitled to, right? So they do take their job very, very seriously.
Yeah.
So I'll be watching the replay. Johnny G or Lauren or whoever's working replay will be watching. Chappie, who runs the computer graphics and puts the graphics up when I'm talking, he'll be looking at his data feed, and we're all going to try to get as much as we feel confident in, and so I can go on and write those down.
Because painting that picture, not only are you writing that down, but the names that you just mentioned that are sitting in the control room, Johnny G and Linda and Chappie, they also need to be writing the graphics, because when the audience is looking at the Jumbotron and you're speaking, there is a graphic that comes up that says who got the goal and who got the assist, and someone needs to write that. So y'all need to be on the same page.
Right. So we're waiting on the NHL to come and tell us, like, this is actually correct, and 95% of the time we're right, but there are times where it's, it actually did hit somebody on its way through.
Right.
The goal scorer you saw is not the goal scorer.
Right.
And then we got to wait for the graphics to be ready, and that's pulling a NHL data feed from somewhere, and sometimes that can be slow or that can be wrong. Like you said at the start, and it's something that I think was one of my biggest surprises when I took the job. There's a lot of moving parts, and we all have to make sure we're all ready to go. I can't just start freelancing, right? Like it breaks things.
Yep.
So once everything's ready, the graphics are ready, we've got accurate data, I've got it written down, the puck's in play, then I can go.
Right. Oh, gosh.
And for penalties, it's a similar thing. Like, most of the time, the refs will get on their ref mic.
Right.
Announce a penalty, but sometimes they won't.
Or sometimes their mic is not
working. Sometimes their mic's not working.
Which has happened a lot.
So we also have communication to the penalty boxes with the NHL off-ice officials to confirm the penalties. Almost always, unless it's like a big schmoz on the ice, I'm confident enough that when the ref says, Pittsburgh 87-2 for roughing, that it's going to be Pittsburgh 87-2. I can just go on and start talking.
Yep, definitely.
But sometimes there's weird stuff that happens.
Interesting. God, this is fascinating.
A lot of inside baseball here.
I love it. Now, I need to know, you are also known for very specifically how you say certain players' names. Yes. Like, I'm not going to do it justice, but like, yeah. How do you come up with your rhythm? Like, how do you find that particular niche, or do you practice in the mirror or whatever?
No, I don't like looking at myself. No, as I said, I grew up a pro wrestling fan and have done professional wrestling ring announcing. And in that world, announcing the wrestlers' names is a big deal, and everyone's very big and distinctive. I take a lot of my style from WWF, WWE legend, a guy named Howard Finkel, who, if you ever heard his voice, you'd be like, I will know this man's voice every time I hear him for the rest of my life. Very, very distinctive. And it was always really big, and it was always the punch, right? Like that, and that kind of subconsciously got into my brain. So when I took this job, and I have a lot of names to announce, especially the home team, who I'm going to be announcing a lot, I could just say names, right? Like that is the thing you could do. But that'd be boring, and it wouldn't be as fun. And in this role, I have to kind of balance professional and fun, because I straddle the line between the two. And so what I would do is I try to make the names a little distinct, and sometimes I'd be like, oh, I like that, or sometimes I got to try something else here. And then for the ones that stuck, I would just make them bigger and bigger and bigger. Like the very first time I announced a Sebastian Aho goal, it was Sebastian Aho, right? Mm-hmm. And then Sebastian Aho, and then Sebastian Aho. Now it's just like it's excessive, honestly.
No, it's so great. I mean, people love it. They say it with you.
That's the thing.
That's the best part. When you say, 1 minute remaining in the period, like every time there is 1 minute on the clock, the crowd will erupt and say it with you, which is awesome.
And that's completely accidental. I had no idea that was going on until years later. Somebody sent me, because when I was in the box and now when I'm up at press row, I hear an amorphous roar, right? Like, I can't pick out a whole lot of detail that's happening. I just know the crowd's loud or not. And people would send me videos from them saying, like, Teuvo Teravainen or Jacob Slavin or Sebastian Aho along with me in the exact same way that I say them. And it's an accidental gift because I'm so consistent in how I say the names. Mm-hmm. you can follow my cadence. Sometimes Christine will be in my ear and she'll be saying the names along with me, right?
Yeah.
And that, again, not something I planned. It was just like, this is how I do it. And that allowed, because it is so consistent, because it's so unique for every player, because there's kind of predictable beats, they can say it along with me. And that is just humbling to hear. Like, the entire crowd saying things in my style, the way I'm doing it along with me. I'm just like,
It's amazing. The 1 minute remaining in the period, is that something every NHL announcer does, or is that just Kane's thing?
No, is in the rule book, actually. That
you have to announce the 1 minute remaining in the period. I don't think I knew that.
Yes, it's in the rule book.
That is fantastic.
But there's no specific way you have to say it.
Yep.
Some PA announcers in the league will be like, this is the final minute of play in the first period. Or some people will be like, there is, 1 minute remaining to play in the period, or whatever. And mine is, 1 minute remaining in the period. And the reason I don't say like 1 minute remaining in the first period, 1 minute remaining in the second period, is in my first, month on the job back in 2015, I screwed that up twice.
I was going to ask you if you've ever messed up.
Oh, I mess up a lot.
We don't know though.
And sometimes it makes national news. I got some stories. I'll tell you that one after I tell you this one. So I screwed it up a couple times. I said like first period was second period. And I was like, you know how to solve this? I just don't say what period we're in. I'll just say 1 minute remaining in the period, which is accurate. And I don't have a risk of saying the wrong thing.
I love it. I love it. Wait, how did you make national news?
Oh my goodness. So as I said, I have an improv background, which is a blessing and a curse for the Canes. The blessing is that if something changes in the script at the last second or whatever, like, oh my God, we got to change this. I'm like, that's cool. I got it. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Right. Like, when things are chaotic, I can be very calm because I'm just like, yeah, I'll figure it out. Right. The downside is that, sometimes I'm funny. And I've had a few things that I've said on the microphone that have gone viral, mainly because it's different and it's funny. And I try to make everything very positive and very funny. Sometimes it doesn't work, but most of the time it does. So the most recent one that I think went big was a couple seasons ago. Clock's counting down, end of the period. 105, 4, 3, 2, 1. The whistle blows. And I look up. And it stopped at 101. And I'm already talking. So I had to make a call on the fly. I'm like, all right, I got 3 choices. And this is all happening in my head in the span of like a half a second. I can say 1 minute remaining in the period, which is what's coming out of my mouth right now.
Right.
And be wrong and have my friends clown me for it. In good nature, I hope. I could say 1 minute, 1 second remaining in the period, which is accurate.
It's accurate.
I was like, or they see that I've messed up. I see that I've messed up. I can make it funny. And so what I did on the microphone was 1 minute no. And that made
was I here at this point?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. So like, you might have been getting ready for the intermission show.
I don't remember this.
And it made it like TSN had it. I think like ESPN had it. Steve Dangle was talking about it.
That's so funny.
Yes. And I have said 1 minute remaining in the period thousands of times at this point.
Yeah.
That's the one people are going to remember. And I was able to turn it in. I was making fun of myself more than anybody else. And I made a moment. And people still come up to me and like, remember you said 1 minute? No.
That is amazing.
It's a memory for people, right?
Oh, I love it.
Find a way to make it fun.
That's so great. Ice-T is presented by Lane and Associates Family Dentistry. Now, the team at Lane, they don't just handle fillings and cleanings. They also do cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, sleep apnea, and even TMJ care. So to find a location near you, head to lanedds.com. You have your what's the word I'm looking for? Your fluctuation on the way you say the
cadence, yeah.
Your cadence.
Yeah.
But when you say the other team or when you announce the other team like hitting the ice, the Pittsburgh
voice.
Penguins. Like,
Sad voice.
how did you decide on the sad voice?
Oh, yeah. So there's the sad voice, like if the other team scores, where I'll be like,
Right.
Pittsburgh Penguins goal, his 10th of the season, scored by number 87. And then there's the intro, welcome to Lenovo Center, last halves in the NHL. It's a great night for hockey in Raleigh. Tonight's matchup features a visiting Pittsburgh Penguins. Boo. And York. And that was a thing where when I started doing it was like, tonight's matchup features the visiting Pittsburgh Penguins and your Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I wonder if I can be more sarcastic when I say them. And it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Now sometimes it's like the visiting Florida Panthers. Right?
Yeah.
And it's a way to just make it, again, fun and distinctive, right? And people are like, why aren't you as excited about announcing, the visiting team goals as you are the home team goals? I don't work for the visiting team.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm here to entertain my fans.
100%. 100%.
Then it's like, oh, no.
No. Sorry that, you Pittsburgh Penguins fans decided to, show up last night,
Right.
but whatever. Okay, so we will get into the last segment called Spill the Tea.
Spill the tea.
Okay, first one is, how did, if you don't know, now you know,
Yeah.
Canes win?
Right.
How did that happen?
It's two different things that kind of dovetail together. So the Canes win started first.
Okay.
I've got a live mic, and sometimes I turn it on, right? And, there was I was thinking about Harry Carey, the longtime broadcaster for primarily the Chicago Cubs baseball team back when I was young, and he was very old. And he had a very distinctive gravelly voice, and he had this whole bit where, like, if the Cubs won a game, he'd be like, Cubs win! Cubs win! And I was like, I could probably do something with that, because I'll tell you, good artists borrow, but great artists steal.
Okay,
And I stole that from Harry Carey.
That was another question that
Yeah.
we, I didn't get to, but I love that you're answering it
Great
now.
artists steal. And so at the end of one game, I just kind of went on the mic and I was like, Canes win. And Christine didn't yell at me. And so the next time I did it again, she came in with the goal horn.
Uh-huh.
And then, the storm surge started. And, I needed some way to, tie into whatever the big build of the storm surge was. So I was like, well, I'll put that. I normally say it after the game, but I'll say it when whatever's happening in the storm surge, kind of comes to a head, a big Canes win. And so that became that. And so if you don't know now, it's obviously Biggie.
Yeah.
Laundered through Hamilton. And again, one night I was sitting there on the microphone. I had, done my, this is the end of the game. Like, here, everybody go home. And I was just like, turn the mic on. If you don't know, now you know, Canes win. And I didn't get yelled at. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let me do that again. I didn't get yelled at that time either. All right, let me do that again. And it just kind of became a thing.
Now, are you a fan of Notorious B.I.G.?
I know what I look like. I am a huge old school hip hop fan. That is like my genre. And so, yes, Biggie's kind of getting to near the end of where I was really kind of paying attention to what was current because, again, I'm 50. But, yeah, I'm a huge old school hip hop fan.
I love it. Okay, I'll just throw this out there. I know I'm an East Coast girly, but I'm Tupac through and through.
Yeah, that LA in you, right? But no, like Tribe Called Quest and Gangstar and Nice and Smooth and Third Base and like all those folks.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I listen to a lot of old school hip hop.
That is awesome. I love that. Do you ever get recognized when you're out for your voice only? Like, how do I know that voice?
Not normally, because as we said, like my speaking voice isn't super close. I was almost fully anonymous until I started posting some behind the scenes stuff on like Instagram and TikTok.
I was going to say that was something else too. Your TikTok has been booming. Follow Wade if you're not going to. Wait, really quick.
Yes.
That back-to-back that TikTok where the Canes scored like 4 goals in a row. Oh, how do you deal with that? We saw you deal with it,
yes.
But like, I mean, what was going on in your head in that moment?
Yeah, it's just like, well, this is an opportunity. So something different has happened, something unusual, and that's a gift. When weird things happen, that's your chance to make a moment. It's like, when I had to announce like 8 penalties all in a row.
That's right.
And normally it's 1 or 2. And so when I had to announce it, I was like, Washington Capitals penalty on Alex Ovechkin, also Washington Capitals penalty on Tom Wilson, also Washington Capitals penalty on John Carlson, also Carolina Hurricanes penalty on Jordan Martinook, also Carolina Hurricanes penalty on...
Meanwhile, they're all just shoved in the box, which is so beautiful.
And I could have just announced penalties, right?
Right.
But that's not fun. That's unmemorable. This was a chance to be married. And when I got through with, again, a very big, exaggerated penalty announcement, it took me 1:30 of the power play to get through all the penalties. Everyone clapped.
That's amazing. That is. See, I would cry. I would be so overwhelmed with writing down the penalties. I would just be like, I don't know what to say anymore. But you had it.
I think it's the improv. Honestly, and it's something that I recommend for lots of people is go to an improv class.
Mm-hmm.
You'll learn to trust yourself. You'll learn to think on the fly, even if you never want to perform. Even if you're like, I don't want to get up and, do ha-ha funnies in front of people. Do a few workshops and you'll learn a lot about yourself. You'll learn a lot about trust, which is why I almost never get overwhelmed with anything. It's just I'll figure it out, right?
That's awesome.
Figure out a way to make it work.
Oh.
And I make mistakes just like everybody. I've done things that didn't work. I've done things that have gotten me talking tos, but I've tried to approach everything with kind of I'm doing this to try to help.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to get everything right, and you can't beat yourself up too much about the things you get wrong. But if you don't try things and you don't get some things wrong, you're never going to find gold.
100%. I wish I would have taken improv classes. I was
as
too
an
scared.
adult.
I should. Strangest thing a fan has ever asked you?
Strangest thing
I know it's kind of a hard question.
fan has ever asked
or
me.
I guess just as it relates to...
Yeah. I have been asked to announce, not a lot, but several bridal parties.
Okay.
Hey, we're getting married. We're going to have the reception. We're going to have the bridal party come in. Can you come and announce them like you would announce a starting lineup for the Canes?
That is awesome.
And, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm free that weekend. Sure, why not?
How fun.
Yeah, so I've shown up. I show up in the jersey. And
now I've got an idea for mine. Okay.
and I'll do, so, people ask me, can you, give a shout out for somebody's birthday or whatever. And I haven't had any bizarre things from fans.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
No weird things you had to sign or anything?
No, I don't think I've signed anything particularly weird. So one thing that I do, and we're probably running over time, but that's...
No, it's okay.
I'm still talking. So this started during the COVID season.
Okay.
When it was an empty building. It was just me and Marcus and Greenlee and 3 camera ops and nobody else in the building.
Mm-hmm.
So prior to that, when I was still in the penalty box, sometimes I'd take the pages out of my script that I write in, here's where I wrote down the Canes goals so that I can announce them. Here's a starting line. And I'd hand them to fans over the glass, right? Look, a little souvenir, right? And then during the COVID season, when no fans were in the building, I'm like, well, if I was a fan right now, I'd be kind of bummed. I'm watching the games on TV, but I can't be there. And I was like, you know what I could do? I could do that thing that I do where I take the game used pages out of my script and hand them to people, and I could mail them out to fans to give them just a little piece of the game that they couldn't go to, right?
Yeah.
And so I started, when I was still on Twitter, I would be like, hey, I've got 6 pages from this game, who wants them? And I mailed them all over the world. Canes fan Hannah Smith named it Minter Mail, which is a great name.
Mail. Oh, that's awesome.
So I would do that, and I'd mail them out, again, worldwide. I've sent them all over the globe. And then when I got off Twitter, I wasn't in a spot where I could mail them out anymore. So I started going out to the autograph area in the north loading dock at the arena after games, and I'll hand them out there. And it's it's not a lot of burden on me, right? I'm going that way anyway. I have these pages. They just go in recycling otherwise. But it's a little something unique for people to kind of have a keepsake from the game. And I know I'm not Rod Brindamore. I'm not Trip Tracy. I'm not Andrei Svechnikov, right? I'm a very, very zealous celebrity at best. But I know when I was just a fan of the team, having that connection to the team and people involved with it was one of the things that I think made being a Canes fan really good. So I kind of look at it as, here's something that I can do, and I'm doing it on my own, it's just a thing I do, to try to make a memory for somebody, to try to give them a little something that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise. And, yeah, it's not Sebastian Aho signing an autograph, but it's something, right? And that's one of the things that I've really tried to do during my time in this role is I can't do much, but I can do what I can to try to give people a really positive experience and make some memories. And you never know how long this ride's going to last. Like, I could be here for 20 years. I could be here for 20 days, right? You don't know. It's a creative industry and, life happens and things happen. But while I'm here, I feel it's kind of a duty and an obligation for me to try to give people as good of an experience as I possibly can.
I've never felt more inspired and more crappy at the same time because meanwhile, while Wade is giving out his binder, I have my note cards, and guess where they go at the end of every third period? At the end, I throw them out.
Yeah. It's something I tried.
Like, I have all these note cards, and that if somebody, wanted to practice or wanted to be a host someday, and meanwhile, I'm just...
Or just I'm sure people recognize you because your face is on the screen, unlike mine. Those, and I'm sure people who stop and talk to you, for them, it's a moment. And if they can have a good moment, that's one of the things we can do that's in our power to control. We can't control wins and losses. We can't control a lot of things about hockey, but we can give as good and kind of an experience as we can.
Yes.
And just look for those opportunities, try something. If it doesn't work, then you don't have to do it anymore.
I'm inspired. Okay, Wade, I'm going to do it.
All right.
1 minute remaining in the podcast.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That was terrible.
You're coming for my job.
It's it's absolutely terrible. You keep that job. Last question. Put yourself there. We're in the Stanley Cup final. Game 7. Canes just scored a goal. How would you announce that? Let's say it's me. I scored the goal.
Yeah. So it depends on the game situation. Did we score in the opening minute? Now we got 59 more minutes of stress to go. Is it?
There's 20. Sorry, there's 20 seconds left.
20 seconds left. You've just scored the go-ahead goal.
Yeah.
Right? It would be the biggest, loudest announcement I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to blow out the microphone here, but
it's okay. Pull it back a little bit. I want to hear it. I'm not putting you on the spot, but I am putting you on the spot.
It would be probably one of the very few times no one would hear what I said.
You're not wrong.
Yep. But it would be Carolina Hurricanes goal! Her 20th of the season, scored by number 1, Meghan LaMontagne. Just draw it out as long as I have breath in my body.
My name has never sounded cooler, Wade. Oh my gosh. Okay, you need to announce our wedding. First of all, I'm gonna keep my own name.
There you go.
That way when I walk in, oh my gosh. Wade Minter, thank you so much for joining the Iced Tea podcast.
Thank you for having me.
What an absolute pleasure. And yes, now we'll finally get to our iced tea. Cheers, my friend. Cheers. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Iced Tea Podcast. And also thank you to our presenting sponsor, Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. Like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll catch you next week.